So one of the biggest questions going on in the Naruto fandom right now is exactly who could Kawaki from Boruto be? Because we've seen that in the first minute of the anime and the first 3 or 4 pages of the manga that this guy is supposed to be responsible for the destruction of the Hidden Leaf. I mean, we've seen the Hokage Mountain being dismantled and just destroyed. We've seen the actual village completely annihilated. We even seen that the city behind the village that was recently created in this era of Naruto was also completely destroyed. So you thinking, okay, this guy is incredibly strong. Who the hell is he? We still really don't have any complete and factual evidence as to who he is, but there are a couple different things that the fandom is talking about, and I wanted to address them. One of the things is with the debut of Boruto anime episode 1, we had a character named Denki that was introduced, and a lot of people are thinking, based on his characterization of how he wasn't really fond of shinobi, even though by the end of the episode he was kind of like, okay, I'm gonna be a shinobi or whatever. So like, a lot of people are still thinking that his original ideals and him being bitten by that snake thing is one of the things why, okay, this guy could be him. Personally, I don't think it's Denki. I don't think it's Denki. One major reason is I do believe, even though the anime and manga are more than likely gonna have several differences, one of the core elements that I don't think they can change because it'll just be too drastic is who Kawaki is, because the manga opens up with the same scene and the anime opens up with the same scene. So I'm imagining, even though we're going to take different turns and shortcuts, ultimately we're going to lead to the same place. And as of where the manga is right now, we haven't seen this character Denki. We haven't seen him. And where we're at right now, I'm sure we're going to lead to ultimately this Kawaki guy, right? You know, eventually we got to see the origins of him and stuff like that. And Denki doesn't even exist in the manga. He hasn't shown up or anything. So unless Denki shows up within the manga within the next couple chapters, but would still kind of conflict with him being along Boruto in the beginning of the academy days, it wouldn't make much sense, unless I guess you could argue that maybe somewhere along the academy days Denki just completely disappears, and the manga could address that there was this one guy named Denki that he went to school with and completely disappears. But that would be poor foreshadowing on the manga side, and I'm sure when they started the manga, because again it came out almost a year before the anime even started, they had an idea of who this Kawaki guy is. So for them to kind of shoehorn in that without any foreshadowing, it would suck. So hopefully, honestly, for the manga's sake, Denki is not Kawaki, because where did he come from? It's just like, oh, hey, by the way, the guy that's the final villain of Boruto, yeah, he's some fucker. You seen him in the anime, he didn't really get any mentions in the manga. That'd be bad. Now, another theory is that he, and I like this theory, but it also sounds cliche in a way, and the reason mainly why I like it is because it has something to do with Orochimaru, and we know that till this day, I mean, if you've seen Mitsuki's backstory and origin, Orochimaru's still up to his same shit. His same shenanigans of experiments and all that shit, he's still doing that. He's just kind of low-key with it, and he's off the radar or whatever, and people think that Kawaki could potentially be creation, a combination of Naruto's DNA and Sasuke's DNA. Another thing is that they say, well, he has blonde on the sides, but then like a black mohawk, kind of, hey, Naruto's blonde. And it's very small straws to grasp from, but when you have this much information that's barely, you know, there's just tiny inklings you could go from, there's not that much really you could say. It's like, well, maybe he could be that. If it was the case, I hope that it's thoroughly explained, that it makes sense, because honestly, again, it sounds cliche. It's possible, it'd be interesting, but it sounds very cliche, and I'm kind of like, I'd like it, but at the same time I'd kind of be like, well, they better have a damn good reason of how all this became. How did he come into this? Why does he hate Shinobi? If he has the DNA of Naruto and Sasuke, for him to hate Shinobi life when they both, you know, at the end, especially Sasuke came to terms with everything, like, they both love being Shinobis. Naruto is the Hokage, for crying out loud. That would be kind of like, yeah, you need to explain that one. Now, another one is in the opening of the Boruto anime, we see this guy with a head wrap, and he got a stick, and he looks similar, even has a similar outfit to Kawaki, but according to the spoilers and stuff, we found out that actually his name is Iwabe, so his name immediately is not Kawaki. There's possibility that he could be him, maybe because, again, he has a head wrap that is hiding his hair. But I do think a part of that is the studio that is kind of like trying to hide, like, maybe, you know, build up the mystery, because everybody's going to keep on asking questions about Kawaki until we get an explanation, right? I mean, he was the big thing that hooked a lot of people in episode 1. Like, who is this guy? Why did he destroy the village? How did he do it? How strong is he? Did he possibly kill Naruto? Is he responsible for Naruto wherever the hell he sent him to? Is he the guy responsible for that. So of course people are going to keep on asking questions. But the whole Iwabe potentially being, you know, Kawaki in the future kind of goes along with the Denki stuff. Well, if this guy is in the academy days of Boruto, why was he never mentioned? Why in the manga? You know, the manga hasn't mentioned him. We did the Boruto Naruto the movie stuff. We did a lot of different things, and we still get no mention of him. Now, again, it could be a deal of like the same thing I said about Denki, that, hey, he was in the class and they just didn't mention him, but it would be very poor. So I think the character, if he's going to be introduced, possibly cannot be introduced until after the Boruto Naruto the movie stuff, or something along the lines of that, because again, it has to align. Unless the manga and anime are going completely different directions, or the manga is going to go off basically no foreshadowing and just throw this character out there, which again, they were the ones that came up with the idea to begin with to start off the series with Boruto and Kawaki going at it. It wouldn't make much sense to just bring these characters in. I think Iwabe has the look down, he has the head wrap, he has the stick, and he has even the kind of attire and even the skin tone, but it still is a bit of a stretch because he's not in the manga. He hasn't been introduced or anything like that. I remember one big thing, and that was that when the Boruto manga was first announced, when we very first heard about it, we got an image of a bunch of different characters. We had Naruto, we had, you know, Boruto, Sarada, Mitsuki, we had a bunch of different characters, and one of them was a guy with his back turned to us. He had blonde hair on the sides and the black mohawk thingy-majig, and he had like, you know, I think it was like a blue jacket or a blue suit of armor, something like that, and we could kind of see it from the back. And I'm pretty sure, 99% sure, that that was Kawaki. So truly, I believe there is still the possibility that he could have the DNA thing going on, the Naruto and Sasuke combination stuff. But I truly believe that Kawaki is going to just be a newer character. I mean, he could have ties in a way to some of our characters. It could be something crazy, like there was an idea that I was toying around with that, again, crazy idea, don't take too much into it, but what about if he's like the son or grandson of Jiraiya, like some bastard grandson? You think about it, Jiraiya didn't know he had a kid, the kid eventually had another kid. That could be something crazy and something to kind of intertwine him into the original Naruto story to begin with. That's a possibility there, but I truly believe that Kawaki just hasn't been shown yet in either anime or manga, aside from, again, of course, that flash forward to the future where we see him and Boruto going at it. I just don't think that he's been shown yet. Now, he possibly could be somewhat related to the actual village, or he could potentially be from the samurai. I think something that was very underexplored in the Naruto-verse was the samurai. What the fuck happened with them? You know, what's going on with their world? So maybe it's something where the samurai finally had enough. You know, the shinobi world is prospering. Maybe they didn't get so lucky. Maybe their world is still shit and, you know, completely old and ragged at this point in the story, you know, the Boruto world or whatever. Maybe the samurai had enough and this guy just got stronger than all of the samurai together. Or maybe he was a shinobi at one given point and defected to the samurai, came through and said, yo, I've had enough. And I mean, either way, this guy is also going to have to be incredibly strong. One of the only people that really did something to this level was Pain. Pain was one of the only people that destroyed. I mean, Orochimaru, when he did his first invasion, there was some chaos and some destruction to the village. No one done destruction to that level besides Pain. And you got to think, there's a lot of people that can come at this Kawaki guy. If he seemingly did this single-handedly, which I'm starting to think more and more, there's probably more people involved. There's not just him. There's possibly other individuals that could be at his aid. Who knows, maybe even Mitsuki, even though we've seen in his backstory, Orochimaru wanted him to help Boruto. Maybe Mitsuki could be involved too, but I think there's going to just be more than Kawaki by himself. But nevertheless, he has to have some incredible power to take out people like Naruto. Seemingly, you know, he killed him or he sent them away, maybe sealed him up or something. Sasuke, you know, even Choji and all the other people that are pretty freaking strong. This dude is going to have to be immensely strong, and we definitely need an explanation as well. If he's just some new shinobi and he just came out the woodwork, like, or he's a samurai that has incredible strength, it's going to be unbelievable, and not in the good sense either. It's going to be like, yeah, I don't buy that at all. So whoever he is, if he is indeed a DNA clone, he has to have some incredible feats that make sense in order to be able to demolish the village, destroy everything, seemingly kill Naruto, possibly kill Sasuke, and then even have it out with Boruto right there. Something has to be insane of his backstory. So I think, again, two big things of what I get out of all this is he's going to be a character that hasn't been shown before. His backstory is going to intertwine with some character in the Naruto-verse, whether it be the clone theory of Naruto and Sasuke, whether it be that he's Jiraiya's bastard grandchild, some crazy shit. He's going to have to be in there because, again, if it's Denki or Iwabe, why weren't they shown in the manga yet, or foreshadowed for that matter? The manga came out first. It was their idea. They're not going to fuck it all up for a filler character from the anime. Kind of curious what you guys think, though. I want to see some really solid theories based on the information I gave forth. Do you think that it's a brand new character again, like I'm thinking, a new character with a backstory tied into the story altogether? Do you think it's Denki? Do you think it's Iwabe? Do you think it's a clone of Naruto and Sasuke, Orochimaru up to his old ways? And your overall thoughts of all this, really interesting. And until we get an answer, the Naruto fandom and the Boruto fandom at that is going to be really, you know, at the edge of our seats waiting, because it's like, this is supposed to be the guy that demolishes the village, kills all of its leaders, and Boruto has to stop. So yeah, I want to know, who is Kawaki? But that's all I have for this one. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you want more from me, make sure to subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and stalk my Facebook to get more when the video ends. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day.